Quigley. Tom, I can't wait to the next topic because again, the health insurance thing is a big conversation. Our guest today, we're really going to talk about it because it's very in limbo right now.
It's a little crazy out there. So I decided to let Amber Krause take a stab at throwing some ideas out for those who are being fleeced. Unfortunately, it's in 40 out of the 50 states, right, Amber, that you're able to
Yes.
help.
Yep.
We got 10, departments of insurance that are, corrupt. They won't allow, the premium tax. They don't want anything competitive in their states, New Hampshire being one. So let's go on. So Amber, why don't we start? So you work for a company, say you work for a company and the rates for your family are going up to 2,500 and the owner is only going to pay for the single, which so your net result is you got to pay 2,200 bucks a month. So how can you help?
So we have a couple different products here at Seahas. We have an individual product that if you wanted to get fully off of your employer coverage, if that's not something you can afford, we do have an individual product that you could enroll in. And then we do have two group products that are actually going to be sponsored by your employer.
So the employer decides they want to just get out of the health insurance game, and the employees don't qualify for subsidies and their premiums going up, like I mentioned, and they're healthy, got to be healthy, and you have a perfect product. And how many choices do they have? How many choices with networks?
So if the employer is getting to a point where they're just saying like, hey, we can't afford this anymore, we're offering our employees major medical, their premiums have gone up. This is not something that keeps us, out of the red. We do have two, I like to explain them as like levels down. So there's major medical, and then we have an MVP plan, which covers a little bit less than what a major medical plan is going to. And then a MEC, which is just going to be bare minimum. With some of our MEC plans do have a little bit added in there. And that's going to be a balance for everybody. The employee is still getting some kind of coverage. They can go to the doctors, and then the employer is saving money. And like we talked earlier, retention is really important right now. And especially for these industries that just don't have any benefits. Before I was in the insurance world, I was in the restaurant industry, and benefits in that world are absolutely unheard of. So this is also something that employers could offer to maybe set themselves apart from the rest of their industry that they're in.
So a
So
lot, yeah, go ahead, Tom.
So sorry. So in MEC, a MEC is a minimal essential coverage. It's so that the employers don't get hit with an employer mandate penalty. There's a couple different ones. The A1 is the big one they can get nailed on, and that prevents them. But in terms of yet the other big one is you have somebody, they don't really care about all the bells and whistles of the Affordable Care Act, and they want, good coverage. If something happens, they want to make sure they don't have to go bankrupt.
Yeah.
That other product she's referring to, it may not have unlimited lifetime. Maybe it's 5 million or 1 million, like the old plans used to be. And the prices are very competitive there. And what would you, for somebody at a restaurant, it could really help.
Absolutely. If we are seeing a lot of people, restaurant workers, especially that used to qualify for subsidies, or, their premiums just went up 20 or 30% and they can no longer afford that. And so that is kind of where we're at, and where my company just has options for people that are in that situation right now. We do have our individual product, who I would say, before open enrollment, we were kind of right on the line with the same amount of premiums. But now, since open enrollment has started, those premiums have skyrocketed. I have brokers that I met with 6 months ago that didn't listen to a word I had to say. And now they're calling me and they're like, actually, Amber, I'm ready to listen. I have to have options for my clients.
Mm. And that's
Well,
the increase is so large. Tom and
Yes.
I were talking about that on the podcast last week to like 40-50%. I mean, we haven't seen these rates go up that much ever in the
Yeah.
industry since
Well,
Obamacare first started. That probably
yeah.
is the rates just went through the roof.
And a
well,
lot
and
of
I
the
always,
country, go ahead.
oh, go ahead. You're up.
A
A lot
lot
of
of
it.
a lot of the country was already at a point before open enrollment started where they couldn't afford insurance then. And then open enrollment came and now it's up 50% and they're like, what's going to happen? What happens to these hospitals when nobody has insurance anymore?
Yeah.
Exactly. And you got to change.
Yeah.
I often tell folks, I'm out there working on what I save companies, for the most part, percentage of what I save. Um, and I honestly believe I could train a chimpanzee or a monkey to do what most of the brokers are doing out there. All they do, you go, hey, Bobo, here's another banana or whatever you want, Bobo. How about a nut? And Bobo goes and points and hits a couple of keys on the computer and boom, puts out the spreadsheet that says your rates are going to only go up 21.8% from 42, but now you have a 5,000 deductible versus a 2. Yeah, so
It's
Bobo the
it's
chimp can do it.
and I'm sure you're going to comment on that one. This is this is
She
this is
has
the
no
fun thing.
comment. She's a nice girl, Neil. Quit trying to corrupt her.
No, I'm gonna go by Tom's comments and go right to really the point. The point is that you said brokers are contacting you now. That you said, "Oh no, I can get the best deal possible." They're seeing these numbers. How are you able to make things work individually to make it a good plan that's worthwhile for the consumer and also for maybe potentially a broker if they were working with you?
Sure. So we have on our individual plan, we have six on our individual product, we have 6 plans to offer. There's 5 different networks. They are nationwide access. So even in those 10 no sale states that we have, they can still get they still have coverage in those states. So this is and none of our rates have gone up this year, besides our Blue Cross Blue Shield plan, and it was only a 3.5 increase. So that is numbers below what they're seeing on the marketplace. But this has great coverage. The rates are a lot better than what you're seeing on the marketplace right now. And like I said, they are nationwide access. So that helps us too, because I originally am from Chicago. And Chicago's a big city and it's an expensive city. And a lot of people that live there actually end up moving to Indiana, right? They want the cheaper living and then they still want the amenities of a big city. So they still want to go to those hospitals and those doctors where this is a nationwide access plan. You can live in Indiana and you could still go to your Chicago doctors. Now, I hate telling people this, but I live in Omaha, Nebraska. Same thing. We have people that live in Iowa that, they have cheaper living, but they want all the amenities of a bigger city. So they still want to go to these Omaha doctors. And that is something that we don't have on the marketplace here. Normally it's just Nebraska coverage, Iowa coverage. So this is another thing that we can help people by having.
Will you guys sell to ICE agents in Chicago?
So you can not have a job. You can have, you can participate in illegal activity. You can do what ICE agents are doing.
Get them out of here. That's what they're trying to do. So as long they have to be a U.S. citizen, or can it be?
So they actually do not have to have a social security number. They can have a tax ID or an ITIN number, which you also cannot do on the marketplace. So that is another option for that clientele.
Which
And what do you, yeah. So what about the plans? Are they comparable to plans that are on the marketplace?
Absolutely. So we have a couple different networks. We have the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Nebraska network. Those living outside of Nebraska still have nationwide access using the Blue Card network. We have a plan on the Cigna network. We have Aetna. We have PHCS, First Health, Health Smart. And I think those are all the networks. So they're good networks. They're good plans. The only thing I've ever had a broker come to me and say is they don't cover specialty drugs. But that is something where if your insurance is not covering your specialty drug, you can actually go to those manufacturers and say, it's not covered. Can I have some kind of discount? And maybe it saves you more money that way too.
Absolutely. Yes. We take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great alternative. And the other big issue on a lot of the states that are corrupt, they literally have a lot of the networks absolutely stink on some of these marketplace plans.
Yeah.
So,
I do meet with a lot of brokers who that like, obviously I tried to target Illinois being from there, anything to get me back. But some of these brokers live in small town Illinois where they have one hospital and the hospital has just said, we're actually not accepting Blue Cross Blue Shield anymore. So I do meet with those brokers and I say, lucky you, there's a couple more options. Let's check all these networks to make sure that your clients can go to that nearby hospital.
right. My cousin is in Wheaton, Illinois.
Okay.
And she was right near Wrigleyville, and she wants me to come visit her in Wheaton. And I'm like, why the hell would I go to Wheaton after coming?
Why would you not? Right by Wrigleyville?
What? No,
Yeah.
no, she's in Wheaton now. She used to live by Wrigleyville.
Oh, she used to.
Yeah, I went several times. Now she's like, well, why won't you guys come up? Well, because who the hell wants to go to Wheaton, Illinois?
Well, the fun thing is, it's just a 45-minute drive to the city.
Yeah, you need an Uber drive.
A little bit more traffic.
Can't walk home. Just crazy stuff. But anyways, yes, the product itself, Neil, is it's not meant for everyone, but for those that are healthy, who are fed up with the system and don't really care if all 10 essential benefits are on it, especially when a guy can't get pregnant, or sometimes ladies can't either at that point in their lives. Yeah. It might make a lot of sense, even though maternity is covered on their plans. It may make a lot of sense to take advantage of some of the lower cost options and networks that you can be anywhere in the US.
And that's really smart for people that you go in there and you see the expense on the open market, and you go ahead and go through her if you're healthy, and you at least benefit based on going and being healthy.
And we do have a limited medical plan too. That is an option for somebody that is saying, I'm okay with rolling that dice, right? So the max is on there, like Tom had said earlier, there's a 1 million annual, 5 million lifetime max. So if something catastrophic were to happen, it's not covered. And it only allows 10 doctor visits a year. But me personally, I'm 33 years old. I go to the doctor once every 3 years, so that is an option. And these plans all do have telemedicine built in, which is another great option for people, especially since COVID, nobody wants to leave their house anymore, especially the younger kids. So these are options for people, there's an option for everybody.
That's crazy. You said they don't want to leave their house.
No, I have a sister. She's 25. I couldn't tell you the last time she's been in a store. We got Target pickups now.
Right. That's true. And that's where everything's going. And then there'll be an alternative universe coming soon.
Yeah.
With Web 3.0. If that
I always tell the brokers there's an enrollment page, and I'm like, you can just send this link out, especially to your younger clients that don't want to talk to you. They're like, just tell me what to do and I'll fill out the information.
That is true.
I mean,
it's a totally different generation.
And then you have a different generation that's like, actually, I want to come in and meet you, and I want to fill this paperwork out with a pen and paper.
That's not me.
Okay. I'm like, just send me the link. I'll do it. It's fine.
No, I'm the same. Send the link too, because I want to benefit my time. I want AI to send the link for me and fill it out for me, and then I don't have to worry about anything.
I want AI to pick out which one's the best coverage for myself.
Oh, that's very easy. That's simple.
It's crazy. But what kind of like major medical conditions knock you out of being able to get your plan? Like, for
So
example,
it focuses on major pre-existing conditions over the last 5 years. So if something happened 6 years ago, they're fine. If it's on this list, they're also fine. It's going to ask if they've had a heart attack, stroke, or cancer, if they've been homebound or capacitated, any autoimmune diseases, organ failure or transplant, if they're currently pregnant. Sometimes women enroll and then they find out they're pregnant. That's fine. Any treatment that required hospitalization, any respiratory disorders, any alcohol or substance abuse. Type 1 diabetes is not covered, but type 2 is. Then any major surgery in the last 5 years or any upcoming planned surgeries.
What
So
about
as long as
what about high blood pressure?
Nope. If it's not on that list, it's okay. As long as they answer no to all 11, they're automatically accepted. Another great thing about this plan is you don't actually have to wait for open enrollment. So applications must be submitted by the 18th of the month. Then coverage will begin on the 1st of the following. So I met with Tom earlier today. It also, as much as it is a major medical plan for individuals, it also helps people. I had a broker who has a woman that just moved here from India. She has a new job. Her coverage doesn't start for 3 months. Let's put her on, especially like the limited medical plan. Let's get her some coverage for the next 3 months. Hopefully she's not going to go through those 10 doctor visits. She can cancel at any time. There's no penalty. I have another broker who has a gentleman who is Medicare age in July. Throw him on a plan, get him some coverage for the next 7 months, and then he can cancel and get on Medicare.
Wow. This is interesting stuff, Tom, because another solution, especially for individuals that are going to be stressing very, very soon. They are stressing now when they cut the prices.
Well, that's why when I was talking to her earlier, I was like, hey, you need to be on the podcast today.
See,
that's Amber's not camera shy, which is
and Amber came on and didn't want to debate you.
Like, no, I don't want to be.
And Tom, she didn't come to debate you either. She's one of the good people.
Do people normally debate you, Tom?
No,
they're afraid. They're afraid. The agents are afraid to come on with him. He keeps calling them out.
I invite them all. Come on.
I was thinking of just kind of lambasting one and bring one on, but I've done that back in my days in radio.
I want you to find me a chimpanzee Bobo who can like sit on your shoulder. Neil.
I could just do that with Sora. That would be funny. Once you can get into Sora, you could have a chimpanzee sitting on your shoulder. I guess I'm going to do that. Maybe I should just type that in Sora 2 right now.
Yeah, that'd be really neat.
Chimpanzee sitting on my shoulder and say that it's coming up with my health decisions.
Right. So somebody like myself, Amber, my situation is I'm on like a Lexapro because my wife says I'm nuts, and I say it's for anxiety. And it's generic.
I agree with wives all the time. I want you to know that right now.
Well, it's pretty obvious, I think. And then the CPAP machine. So I would get accepted then.
You're good to go.
Gotcha. I'm not pregnant, even though my beer gut makes it look it that way at times. But other than that, I'm good.
Yes, you're good to go.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
So Amber, where can people come? Where can people find info on you?
Sure. So my email address is akrauza@chas, which will be CEHAS-admin.com. Go ahead and send me an email. We'll get a Calendly video set up just so I can kind of walk you through everything. And then we'll get you signed up from there.
All right. And go to ClaimLinx.com if you're a business and you don't want to get killed by 60% in health insurance. Go to ClaimLinx.
Why wouldn't you want to pay more, Neil? Come on.
No. You only pay for things you want, not things you don't want.
Right. Neil, after the subsidies don't get approved for the enhanced, you might this might be a perfect product for you.
Yeah, it will, but it's going to get approved. That's for our next podcast.
Okay.
All right. That was the